Next on the Love You More Show.
The tension between us got so thick until he started saying, why can't you just stay here? Why can't? And I was like, fine, I'll just go. I'll just go. And I went. I remember being so sick. 3 weeks later, we delivered Justin. He died a few hours after delivery.
That's been a thing, having friends, because you know it's only male and female in the world.
That's it.
So all my friends can't be male.
And he's friendly. He's very extroverted and friendly.
No,
so.
Being sexy is hard.
Wow.
What level of trauma caused you to believe like somebody could not love me in this capacity?
My biological father left, and then every conversation I ever had, every promise he made was broken. But I watched him remarry, and I watched him raise their children. And when I was 14, I was sexually assaulted by an elder in the church that was a family friend.
Hey family, Willie Moe Jr. here, and you're watching another amazing Love You More show. First and foremost, can I just tell you thank you? Just real quick, if you're new to the show, let me just tell you hello. But to those of you who've been here for a while, can I just tell you thank you? Over 210,000 subscribers. Come on, somebody. Yes, very, very quick. I watched the Lord do something that I ain't never seen him do. He did this. Breathed on it. Here's the thing. I'm not bragging on myself. I'm bragging on the Lord. And here's the thing. All you got to do is just get started and just watch him do what he does. Here's the thing. This is what I believe. If you do what you can, God gonna do what you can't. Put that in the comments. Praise the Lord. Family, if you're new to the show, I want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel to make sure that you're notified about every show that we do. Can I just do this? Shout out to Ricky Smiley, too. I just want to show love to my dear brother, Ricky Smiley. I think the first day he did 51,000 people watch what he was doing. And I just thank God for him, man. So shout out to Ricky Smiley. He has a new book that I want you to go check out. It's called Sideshow. And man, it's going to be a blessing to you. All right. Family, today I get the esteemed privilege to hang out with my TikTok family, my Instagram family. I actually had the opportunity to go to their first service when they were getting started with Breathe Church. And I was just so impressed by a couple who love God with all their heart, but they are literally themselves. Of course, you know, I didn't come from, I go to church on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I came from where we go to church on Sunday, and then on Monday, you just kind of back doing whatever you was doing. We love God, but, you know, my parents still cuss a little bit. We praying, right? But I got an opportunity to feel the freedom of the church. And then I started seeing them opening up their lives on social media. And I don't think many people know how hard that is, right? Because some of the things that we think are funny, some people get offended. Or if we say certain things, you know, people have something else to say. But it's evident that they're not looking at the comments or worried about what you're doing because they still having a good time. I'm so thankful right now to have Gerald and Tammy Haddon in the studio with me. Come on, son.
Hey.
Y'all so blessed. I'm sorry, Pastor.
God.
I'm sorry, Pastor.
No, we just Gerald and Tammy today.
Yeah, just
Today it's
today.
just Gerald and Tammy.
When do you turn into you know what I'm saying, the bishop and bishopette?
Well, we not bishop and bishopette. We just turned into pastor.
I don't even know if that's really a turn into thing.
Yeah.
We're Gerald and Tammy, and we have to really be conscious about being Pastor Gerald.
Yeah.
It's actually a call.
Yeah.
He called me to this. I didn't try to do this.
Not at
I
all.
wouldn't have done anything else.
Yeah.
If there was one thing that you could have done besides this, what would it have just been? I know musician and all this, but what else
Definitely
would
would
you
have been what I do.
Yeah, just doing music,
Yeah.
what we love to do. Just would have we're still doing that, but that just would have been all we were doing.
Yeah.
Tell me some of the stuff y'all wrote and sang.
Huh. Not About Us.
Middle of it.
Wait a minute, time out. Y'all did Not About Us?
Yeah.
It's about you. Really?
Yeah.
Tell me the other one you just said.
Middle of it.
Middle of it.
In the middle
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah. We got one out with what's their name?
I have no idea who
What's
you're talking about.
Tim Bowman in there?
Oh,
Is there anybody here that loves Jesus?
That's y'all.
Anybody?
yeah. Sitting with me, Mary.
Sometime I produced He's Able.
Sometimes
wrote it with
Dietrich
He's
says all
Able.
him. Depends on what day.
What day of the week it is.
Yeah, but we've done a lot of stuff.
Don't know what you come to do.
Yeah.
So
I had no idea. Today, I'm like, yeah, I know y'all always did music. I think I heard.
it's an awesome God. That's your talent.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Oh God.
That's so good. So here on the Love You More show, we like to do an icebreaker.
Okay.
And we choose to use music as an icebreaker. And because you guys are producers, you'll understand the lyrics that are in this song. So during my marriage, I was like, man, I'm doing my best. I'm trying to go to counseling. So I went to therapy.
Okay.
So this is kind of loosely based on the therapy session that we took.
Okay.
And then what happened next. Check this out. So wifey started counseling, and she thought it would be a good idea for me to come to counseling. Man, don't nobody really want to do this. Because I know she'd been telling this woman all my business. I walk into counseling. Dang. I didn't know her counsel was this fine. She been telling all my business. I walk in. Hey, ladies. Oh, I was at the wrong spot, and I thank you for joining us. Truly my honor. Willie Mo. She, nice to meet you. My honor. This is my counselor, April. So nice to meet her. Wifey like, so glad you can make it, darling. It's truly my honor. You look amazing. You do too. Energy in the room a little tense. Wife done told my business. So let's talk this out in front of her. Damn. I'm like, okay, you ready? I am. You know, whatever you want me to do, I'm with it. Are you gonna tell the truth? I promise I'm gonna tell the truth. You worth it. Her eyes lit up like a Christmas tree when I told her she was worth it, child.
Time waits for no man, but if I could turn back the hands of time, I would do you better. I just want you to know the love I have for you is like the clockwork. It never stops. This is Lag Out.
Now I am not a mind reader, but I can tell you're lonely, overlooked. But what's funny is I put a ring on your finger. We both said I do, but we both know the truth. That lately we've been feeling single, cause we don't take the time to love each other right. Preachers say we need communication. Tonight let's speak some love language. Oh, first off, since we said I do, in the sight of God we can do what we do. Second off, we don't need no phone. We don't waste time too long. So let me love you like clockwork. Tick-tock, tick-tock, like clockwork. Tick-tock, tick-tock, steady going like clockwork. Tick-tock, tick-tock, like clockwork. Tick-tock, to the end.
The name of the song is Clockwork. Make sure that you download it wherever you get your music. So the premise,
dope.
thank you, from the
dope.
producer and producer.
Amazing, yeah.
That's dope.
So in the scenario, we go to counseling and we realize that there were some issues that were underlaying, like me being adopted, her going through whatever she went through. Did you all, when you all got married, like what was the process of you guys attempting to like get married? Did you do premarital counseling? Did you do counseling now? How do you refine and make this what it is?
We did no premarital counseling. We dated for 9 years.
But 9 years, that's enough counseling.
That's enough, and still wasn't enough, right?
Listen.
Met in high school.
Yeah.
Started dating as soon as I graduated, because I'm 2 years older than him.
So
Way older than me. You're way
I hear him say you robbed the cradle.
older than me.
He wish. But no, like it's like your song, it's layered. And it's stuff you don't find out that you even need to have fixed until you're in the thick of it.
Yeah.
And so our first year was hell on wheels.
Yeah.
It was like horrific.
But we didn't do counseling.
We did not do counseling. And so just after that, we just, as things started to unravel, because they will,
Yeah.
we just started to deal with it as it came. And we are literally here by the grace of God.
Yeah.
Just
Because I found out after I married her, I thought she was crazy.
wow.
But I found out she was crazier once we started living together.
I thought we was gonna be nice. Cause you
Nice.
okay.
I'm just,
Open up this can of worms. I'll go.
Jesus.
All right.
Why do you think
Let me go back in my shed.
so what's like, you don't have to get into the minutia of it. Like what's one of the craziest things that you was like, this makes no sense just as a man, but it was very serious to her and you just had to kind of think through it?
Who? During marriage or before marriage?
Well, you dated for like 9 years, so you
dated for 9
technically
years.
like married.
Yeah, we've been married
7
for 30
years.
some- 30
Yeah, you've been married like 38 years.
30-some years.
You can be honest. Go ahead. I'm curious.
It was hard for me having friends, girl friends,
Yeah.
outside of her.
Yeah,
Even friends who she knew was friends.
yeah.
It'd be, why you just got to talk to them? And why you got it? That was big for us. And I just, in the last decade and a half, finally realized,
Why'd you laugh?
Because knowing him, I thought he was gonna be like, I just like in the past maybe 2 weeks.
a decade, at least a decade, you got me together with that.
Okay.
Finally got it. You know, I'm finally getting it now. You know, but that's been a thing, having friends, because you know it's only male and female in the world.
That's it.
So all my friends can't be male.
And he's friendly. He's very extroverted and friendly.
No,
so.
being sexy is hard.
Wow.
Come on. You know what I'm saying? See what happened to me at
Walmart.
So being sexy is hard, and then when people laugh at you, you know, they laugh and talk to you. And we like to laugh and talk.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
pray for me.
So as for him, like, what was something that was extremely serious to him? Might not have been as serious to you, but you had to take it serious.
I had to figure out how to deal with his family.
Jesus.
That was a lot for me. It's a lot of them. Everybody's loud. Everybody is aggressive.
Yeah.
And a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
And then there are PKs. And so, you know, when it comes to PKs, it's like everybody's in everybody's business.
God, it's a family.
Everybody got to say so about
Oh,
everything.
no. I got to tell one time we had a meeting when we first got married. When we first got married, she asked me a question. She said, "What do you want to do?" I said, "That's a good question." I said, "I'm doing music. I'm traveling. I said, but I really want to move out of Detroit." She's like, "Where you want to go?" I said, "Atlanta." We got married in '99. She said, "Let's go." So I went to my parents and said, "Hey, we moving to Atlanta." They said, they called a family meeting.
Oh, God.
This is a long time ago. They called a family meeting. They said, "Who in here got a problem?" I said, "Who in here got a problem with Tammy?" Even my grandma raised her hand. Everybody raised their hand. Everybody do like this.
The whole table.
And they said, "We feel like Tammy is pushing you to do things that you don't want to do." I said, "No, I'm actually telling her what I want to do." And she said, "Let's go get it." I said, "I'm the one who want to move to Atlanta. I'm the one who want to try."
Believe it.
And we actually moved for about 6 months. It didn't work. Then we ended up going back to Detroit for 2 years. And then
But I was the bad guy until about 12 years ago. And we've been married 25
maybe
years.
3 years ago.
No. I'm still the bad guy to some of them. But
Tammy, like, so here go the thing. So he grows up with this huge family. Seem like y'all all kind of look. I seen your mama with the Adidas type of
Out of control.
on that you
My whole
posted.
nother.
I was like, why did he post this of his mom? But it was so funny.
My mama's hilarious.
And you make everything hilarious. How did you grow up though?
just my mom and my stepdad, who was in my life as long as I can remember, since I was 2. And I have a brother that's 8 years younger than me. So that was
Like
it.
an only child. Almost.
Yeah, that was it for us. And it's like, it was 8 of y'all.
Yeah.
So it's 8 of them, and then
9.
just
Well, Sean goes with
yeah. So it was just a whole different dynamic. And like, one of the biggest problems for us was what was normal for them as talking. For me, was that's abusive. You are abusing me. All of this yelling and screaming and banging on tables. And I remember, oh my God, I remember the first time I was present for what I thought was a family argument.
Yeah.
And while this is going on, I'm watching all of them, go at it. And I'm literally contemplating in my head, like, should I call the police? Right? This is what I'm saying. Like, should I call the police?
Yeah.
And so, it ends. We go to bed. We get up the next day. I'm getting my bags because we were in Vegas. I'm getting my bags. We're going. And mom's down there cooking breakfast. And everybody's like, hey, you want eggs? And I remember standing there like, did I just not see what I just saw?
Yeah.
And they were acting like it was normal to them.
It was normal. It's family. You tell me what family don't have arguments and debates.
I had never
You can have it
seen it.
soft. You can have it loud.
I'd never seen
arguments
anything
happen.
like it. And we've experienced a lot of things in our marriage. That was the only thing, or the family dynamic was the only thing. I went to him and said, look, I love you, but if the only way I can get away from your family is to divorce you, I'm gonna have to leave you.
Wow.
It was too much. But God. Say, but God.
Come on, but God.
That's true. That's true.
Come on, but God.
Yeah.
But God.
So do you think how was that for you? So for me, I was a family pleaser. I think I stayed married for so long because I knew
Really?
things were weird, but I was just like, well, our family name, and I got to make sure my
Yeah.
family. And I had never had like a biological family. I love my family, but like I never had my biological family till 2020. So it was like, man, they gave me like their name.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure I put no stain on it. I want to do everything right, and I want to do this, that, and another. How important was it for you, for your family to endorse, or like your wife in your choosing, or were you just like, man, I'm running how I'm running. I'm gonna do it.
I run how I run.
Yeah.
So I haven't been a pleaser when it comes to them like that, my family.
Okay.
I rock with Tammy. It took me years to get there, though, if I'll be honest, because our family we're close, but we argue, we debate, we do this.
It's their love language.
That's our love
Passion.
language. We're passionate about it. So if you was at one of our family conversations, you'd be like, if y'all look touched. But it's how we love each other. But I told him when it comes to Tammy, I said, when it comes to Tammy, she's me now. So what happens now, you can't even call me, ask me for $5 or to come over and visit without me checking with Tammy now. You know what I mean? But it took me a while to get there. I think I was like you, maybe in the beginning phases, because I had, I always want to make sure we happy as a family. I want to make sure everything work out.
We suffered a loss that kind of changed his mind.
Yeah, that's true.
You okay with me telling this?
Tell my chest.
So we had Austin, our oldest, before we got married.
We were wrestling one day and
It was wrestling one day, it just happened, Austin. And then we had little Gerald when we first got married. And then right after little Gerald, I got pregnant again. And I was 8 months pregnant, that last month where you go for your ultrasound every week, right? I was there. That's when Bobby Jones was doing all his stuff in Vegas.
Yeah.
Right?
I never knew.
And so, listen, and so Dietrich had to sing, and I couldn't sing. I was too pregnant. But Dietrich was like, I'll still pay for you to go, whatever. And so my doctor said I could go, whole thing. Went shopping, passed out in the mall. And so my doctor said, bed rest. You can't go. You got to stay here. So Gerald calls Dietrich and says, we can't go. Tammy had a whole situation, Dietrich is fine. Mm-hmm. Totally understand, because he had 2 other keyboard players. But baby, our phone started ringing off the hook.
Wow.
It was mama. It was grandmama. It was everybody. And it was like,
Grandma didn't call you.
Your grandma. Oh no, they told me to stay with your grandmama.
Yeah.
And it was like, your brother comes first. No, the exact words were, family comes first. Whatever's gonna happen to Tammy and that baby is gonna happen. You got to see about your brother. And the tension between us got so thick until he started saying, why can't you just stay here? Why can't? And I was like, fine, I'll just go. And I went. I remember being so sick. 3 weeks later, we delivered Justin. He died a few hours after delivery. Yeah. And we went back to church because they were pastoring one of the biggest churches in the city at the time. I'd been there my whole pregnancy. People are like, where's the baby? There had been no mention that we lost the baby. Nobody said anything. And at that moment, he realized, yo, this is my family.
Yeah.
And I got to worry about me and Tammy.
It's team us.
And after that, no more problems. I came first. But I didn't take advantage of that. And I think that's one thing that a lot of women in my position, and then young women that are just immature in marriage, don't understand. Because I knew he would choose me, I now never put him in a position to have to. Ooh. Because at the end of the day, I don't want him to feel some kind of way when mom is gone or dad is gone. I don't want you to ever feel like I kept you from your family or like they weren't welcome in my home. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had problems, but it's 2 things that held us together. We both love Gerald, or we all love Gerald, and we all love Jesus. And that was our common ground. And that's how we found our way back center as a family.
Let me tell you something.
That's good.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
More Love You More podcast after this.
When I fell in love with her, I fell in love with all the mistakes that come with it, everything that comes with it. Yeah. So I decided, and when I got married, I said I'm gonna stay married because I come from. If they don't know, everybody don't. Well, Dietrich told our business on one of them TV shows. Clarence Hatton is not our biological father. He married my mom. 49 years. They've been married now 49 years.
You guys were like 2 and 3?
He was 2 and 3 when he married my mom.
Love you more.
How do you, I think the Bible talks about like a clean heart. Mm-hmm. How do you have a clean heart after some of those, what I would say, kind of misunderstandings.
Yeah.
Because what I do understand, like, I'm first generation a few dollars. So everybody kind of band around Willie. Like, Willie got to go do something now. Y'all let Willie go do what he gonna do, because Willie gonna take care of some things. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, they gonna do it, so they kind of band around it because, you know, we ain't never had so much or whatever. So how do you posture your heart to forgive? And then how do you posture your heart not to scold?
That's good. For me, that's how I knew God had really changed my life, because I was the type of person that if you hurt me, if you wronged me, I would say, I'm going back to the day before I met you. It's like you never happened. That's how I used to be. And when the Holy Spirit just really started working on me, my heart was the first thing to change. Like, you can have mishandled me. I'm going to love you. I'm not going to feel any kind of way. It may change our dynamic, but I'm never going to treat you funny. I'm not going to not love on you. And so that credit goes to what God has done in my life, because I personally don't see how I could have done that in and of myself, because I've had some broken moments. I've had people mishandle me and let me know they didn't care about me. Let me know they didn't think that I was good enough, you know? And so that was just something God really did with me.
I've always been a person who know how to forgive.
True.
So, like, literally, I can have
said
somebody,
true.
like, literally do something. Like, only thing you probably can do to me that I probably wouldn't, like, pull a gun in my head. I've never had that happen. So I pray to God that I never have to go, deal with it. But I don't believe, like, speaking in tongues, we like, oh, speaking in tongues. The Bible says, though I speak with tongues of men and angels, if I don't have love, my thing, I'm big on love, huge on it. So I forgive. I'm like, man, forgive. Once I ask you, or once I get out what I got to get out, what our problem is, I'm done with it.
This is truth.
I'm literally done with it.
She like this.
So if me and you get to argue right now, we call you call me big head, you can say all kinds of stuff, but you look short, beige teeth, so and so. I'm like, okay. And once we get done and we dap it up, I always call myself Joe Clark. Remember how they did?
Yeah.
Now let's go get something to
Let's
eat.
go get something to eat.
Yeah, let's do it. And I literally forgive. I try my best to forgive. Now I still scold.
Yeah.
At times I've had to. The Bible says, "Be angry, but sin not."
Yes,
so
indeed.
I've been there. Oh man, like like, okay, let me stop before I start cussing them out or say something I ain't been saying.
Right.
But where I get right to that edge and I say, "I told you how I feel. As long as you know,
Yeah.
we done.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it moving." It's hard for her. That's harder for you than me.
It's hard for me to watch him do that, because people that know that this is the type of person that he is
good guy.
take advantage of it.
He is a good guy.
He's
and you're
he's
right.
an
I
amazing.
don't
Thank
know
you
as much as I.
He's an amazing man, and it bothers me. That was even one of the things I felt like family wise. I'm like, really for a long time, and I told him this. I said, "You look like a punk to me."
She told me that before.
Because you just let them say what they want, do what they want, like come and go. It's like, and you just love them and embrace them. And I was challenged by that until I got to a place where, because of my past and because of things I had experienced, I really was challenged with the idea that this man really loved me like he said he did. And I just knew it was too good to be true. And I thought it was going to end. And I said, I want to end it on my own terms. I don't want to be left. And so maybe around year 10, I just spazzed out. I was like, I'm done. I'm not going to be here. And I just started disconnecting, started falling back. And I remember watching him love me to the brink of his capacity. Like, I watched him love me until he didn't have it anymore. And then I literally watched him allow God to love me through him. Like, when he had nothing else to give me, he still allowed the love of God to love me through him. And that changed my life. It changed my perspective of him, because it said the thing that you hate about him is the thing that has caused him to love you anyway. And so I just viewed him differently after that.
She got me saying all. I want to have fun and play with him. It's got my heart mushy.
Right,
Why did you think you were? What level of trauma caused you to believe like somebody could not love me in this capacity?
My biological father left, and then every conversation I ever had, every promise he made was broken. But I watched him remarry, and I watched him raise their children. And when I was 14, I was sexually assaulted by an elder in the church that was a family friend that I was trusted to go to a midnight musical with. And I'd known him since I was little. My family knew him. And then I think after that, I just felt no value. I felt like, who could love me? Absolutely damaged goods, all of that. And then you can't date for 9 years and not have ups and downs. So, of course, we had our share of ups and downs. And I just could not fathom within my mind why somebody would choose me. And I told him for years, I told Gerald, I said, I feel like plan B, whatever your plan A was, you might not want to tell me what it is. It just didn't work out. And I looked better on paper for you. But I just could not fathom that I was his choice, And now I know, being spiritually mature, that it, of course, was the enemy trying to prevent me from not only having a successful marriage, but being able to walk into the things of God concerning ministry. Because if you feel defeated in your mind, you can't do anything. You can't accomplish anything, And so as God just began to work on my life and work on my heart and change my mind, I was able to see myself the way God sees me. But prior to that, just the things I'd experienced in life left me feeling like I just did not deserve it. That I should be no one's first choice.
What kept you going in the midst of her having those type of thoughts? Because we feel it.
Yeah.
And then you are one of the middle children, right?
Yeah, I'm towards the end. Yes.
And so it's like a lot of people focus on the
the
main child, and then everybody's focused on the baby. So you kind of get in where you fit in. So how do you get the wherewithal to be able to serve her correctly in the midst of, kind of what she going on? 'Cause I'm sure there's some rejection going on. Like, I'm doing everything I could.
Yeah.
Like, what did that look like for you, and how did you overcome through that?
I think it was God. And then also I love when I fell in love with her. I fell in love with all the mistakes that come with it, everything that comes with it.
Yeah.
So I decided, and when I got married, I said, I'm going to stay married because I come from, if they don't know, Dietrich told our business on one of them TV shows. Clarence Hatton is not our biological father. He married my mom 49 years. They've been married now 49 years.
You guys were like 2 and 3?
He was 2 and 3 when he married my mom.
Okay.
So my biological father, I probably saw him this many times in my life.
He's like one of these.
So we're not sure one of them.
When he died in the 90s, they came and said, Big Gerald, because his name was Gerald. They said, Big Gerald died. I said, oh.
So you were named after your dad?
Yeah, I was named after my biological father. So when they came and said, Big Gerald died, I said, oh, man, sorry to hear that. Because we had the void filled. But I've always never wanted to be in a place of like Big Gerald and Joyce was. I wanted to have a family. I kind of like you said, I want to stay. I want to stay in this, man. And then I know what it's like to, I'm about to go to mom.
I almost was there. What?
About mom. No, you about to cry.
Oh, go ahead.
You about to cry.
No, I'm fine.
Oh,
go ahead.
I just love it.
What I found out, Willie, and this is going to be real crazy, what I'm going to tell you. I never wanted my biological father's side to show up. But then I realized, I looked up and found out my mom's side, my grandfather, 304.
Oh, God.
You got to be my age to look like 304.
People too,
okay, there you go.
On,
so 304, there you go.
Because
when I tell people that most times, like, what's 304? I tell them, flip that beat around.
Good. Flip that beat around, baby.
My father, I got brothers and sisters the same age.
Yeah.
Same age. Go to Chicago, I got about 3-4 brothers and sisters in Chicago.
Yeah.
And then same thing with my mom's dad. My mom got other brothers and sisters, even though it was 8 of them. Well, my grandfather had another 3 or 4 with another lady on the army base, right?
Yeah.
So 304 running our family.
Yeah.
So I said, I don't want to be a 304. So I'm gonna try to do my best. No matter what comes our way, I wanted to fight for my relationship. So for 25 years, I've been fighting for our relationship. Some days it's easy. Some days it's hard. Some days we want to quit. Some days we don't. But what you fight for works.
Yeah.
You ain't over there with muscles just because you decide you woke up and said, I want muscles.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? You had to actually say, I'm gonna put a mindset, I'm gonna take every day, I'm gonna go work out. You put a regimen together. So that's where we are now. Our regimen starts with God. So we're like, we gonna fight for this. We got days that we spend together, even though we spend probably 97% of every day together.
Yeah.
There's times.
Except in Walmart.
Except in Walmart.
She stayed in the car. She was in the car. But I'm like, you almost lost me that fast.
If I could lose you in Walmart,
That
you
fast.
might have to go, man
It
of
was nice
God.
Walmart. But we fight for this, man. I'm telling you, it's a daily walk.
Yeah.
And it went like the day we got married, I was a problem. Maybe 3 days, 4 days after, I said, what have I done?
Yeah.
I said, Jesus, because the first thing happened is no more girls, no more phone calls. The black book got to go away.
Gotta go.
Got to go. And I'm like, I even told her this is really, really bad. And don't nobody judge me out there in YouTube land. I told her, we was on our honeymoon. I said, if so-and-so call, give me the phone.
Oh, no.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so-and-so call, give me the phone. I even took the first year,
Yeah.
I would just up and leave. Oh, I would up and leave. I would go. Like, if I'm sitting there thinking about it too long, I'm like, why did I get married? I'll be back. Be gone for 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours. I come home and her and my sister praying on the floor, speaking in tongues. And I'm like, But it's been a battle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that first year after I found out by 3 or 4, I started looking to my family.
Yeah.
And I said, oh,
That's what's in there.
that's the problem. Ho is in my family, and Ho trying to take me to Hoville.
Take me
it's
with
trying,
her.
it's trying to move me to
Yeah.
Hoville. And if
I learned late.
yeah.
So I meet my biological family. So my mother, she had my brother at 17.
Okay.
And then she late 17. Then she had me at 19. Mom, I hope I'm saying that correctly. But I'm a year and a half younger than my oldest brother. She never had any more children.
Okay.
She never did, she never got married. Like, she just really, like, it was a traumatic event for her. So that made me feel good. You know, I mean, I know it's terrible for her, but I was like, well,
Yeah.
if you would have had 2 or 3 other ones, I'd have had a problem. But,
Right.
she ended. But then when I met my biological father,
Yeah.
and I don't want to say anything negative about him, but I think it's a total of 10 of us. And me and my sister, we the same age.
Yeah.
And like, then it's another one that they kind of the same. And we just kind of laugh about it or whatever. I'd be like, well, how, you came out of your daddy mom
Now.
stack. It just happened. We laugh at it.
those are
But we just
moments.
met each other. But I told my children, I said, okay, alcoholism, it's going to end with me.
It's good.
Drug use and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Not talking bad about anybody in my family, but anything that has to do with that, it's going to end with me. I didn't know that my father had been through divorce, a few times and, and all of that. And I was just like, that's something that happens in our family. I didn't know it. I wasn't aware. I would have been a lot more aware. I'd have been thoughtful like you, nah, we're going to fight for this because divorce is in there or what have you. And so now that I know what's in my bloodline, a lot of times we look at what we're chasing, but we don't often think about the things that are chasing us.
Yes.
So I'm like,
Hit that bell for me. Hit the bell.
okay, yeah.
There you go.
So I'm
was
like,
bell
so
moment.
that what was chasing me.
Yeah.
And I realized, like, dang, man, I wish I could have done things different. So I set my boys down and I said, well, all that other stuff, it ends with me. But y'all got to get this one out the bloodline. Like I'm challenging you guys to choose correctly, and I'm gonna be a part of the choosing of what you're doing
That's
because
so
I see
good.
something in you, and I just want you to know, like, whatever you want to do is your choice. But if y'all can just include Dad and more importantly your Father in heaven, like, it'll be good.
Yeah.
Not the big butt and sheets make me smile.
Yeah.
I want you to really, really be conscious of it because you guys are kings. Because I want to end this part of my bloodline. So I honor you for saying, hey, man, I don't care what she going through or whatever it is. I'm sticking around because it ends with me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you got to think, why would I wait? We made it 10 years in. She decides, oh, I started it. I was first. For the first year, I acted a fool. So why year 10 came out, I'm like, I'm going to be here. She stayed and followed and prayed me through what we went through. I'm going to stay here and fight for you.
Yeah. And I just didn't realize I was as broken as I was. And I don't think I really realized how broken I was until about 2 years ago when because I'm still connected to some biological cousins. And so one of my uncles died. My biological father's brother died. And we went to the funeral. And my biological father walks in and he sits.
Wait a minute, but I asked you before we go in, I say, are you going to be all right in here? You said, oh, I'm going to be fine. Oh, this ain't. Now, mind you, she ain't seen her father. I've been with her like 30-something years. I saw her father once, her biological father once at his mom's funeral.
Yeah.
So now we're at this funeral.
Yeah, so
years later.
and he walks in, he sits in front of me. He stands up and he hugs me, or I hug him and he responds. And I sit down and he turns his back And the tears just start flowing. And he's like, what's wrong?
She got a mask on with this tear. I'm like, you all right?
And for years, I had made up all kinds of excuses as to why he wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
That day when he hugged me, I said, this man has no love for me. I could feel it. Like, he doesn't know me. He doesn't care to know me. And every scenario I had created, every excuse I had created just kind of disappeared. And I had to accept the fact that he chose not to love me. And that just broke me. And then, but what I also realized in that moment, Willie, is that, you know, people always say, you got to come to marriage 100%, 100%. You know, I say you got to be ready. My personal belief is that I've had some brokenness that was assigned to him. I had some broken places that was assigned to Gerald Haddon that needed a safe, sterile, guarded place to come to the surface so I could heal. And I believe that the only reason I am whole today is because God placed this man in my life that didn't judge me, that saw my brokenness and didn't blame me, but kind of held me together through it. Never once have I ever been reminded of or called out on any mistake I've made. I don't care what the argument is. I don't care how mad I've made him. He never backtracks to say, and that's why you did X, Y. It never comes up. He never reminds me of my past. And for me, that's everything, because who I showed up in my marriage as, I didn't want to be. I was the sum total of this girl that had been molested, unloved, and left. And this is who she was. But I love you. I don't know how to love you, but I know I love you, you know? And so he just allowed me the space to heal. And that's been everything for me.
More Love You More podcast after this.
Yes, Lord. You know I got to keep it real with you. But what I want you to do is I want to make sure that you share this, you comment, you click like, engage with us. Listen, everybody wants to be celebrated, not just tolerated. Don't just tolerate us, celebrate us by liking, sharing, and commenting. Can't do it without you. That's all you got to do. Just click it. Do that for me.
Love you more.
Proud of you.
Hey, I don't want to like you this much. I'm be honest, like I like playing Gerald. But man, bruh, you all right with me.
Man, I appreciate that.
And I thank you for sharing like so much. And just full transparency, you remind me a lot of my former wife.
Wow.
And it's just like, that was just so much. But the little boy in me had so much trauma.
Yeah.
That the little girl in her just offended me too much.
Yeah.
And it was like I started putting up those protectors, and as good as it was in the public, it was just that hard for me at home because like I knew that there was something on the inside of me that was assigned to her healing. And I would say that all the time. I'm like, I'm here to help you heal. Like I'm not, but it almost always seemed like, and I mean, she says it publicly, like it's always like she's seen me through the lens of her father. And so something that would happen would be overly escalated because there's already some collateral damage already. So I'm just like, no, I wasn't tripping like this. It's like, wait, you know what I mean? But it was more so like to have the proper temperament to say, this ain't even about me. Like this something you going through. And I just, as much as I love Jesus, I still was the nigga from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And women ain't supposed to talk to me like that.
Yeah.
And besides, you should know that I grew up with a mother and a father. And so just take my advice.
Yeah.
And then pride steps in, and then you find yourself defending instead of healing, although healing is the assignment.
Yes. And that's why we are as transparent and open. We've had people tell us, you're too transparent, just be translucent. Like we've had people tell us that.
Yeah.
But I believe that if we had a Gerald and Tammy when we got married, we would have not hit some of the ditches that we hit. But everybody, especially in church, presents marriage as if all you need is God and then there's perfection in marriage, you know, and with God, everything is beautiful and perfect and this, that, the other. And my thing, I tell women now, I don't care if you go on a 120-day fast. I don't care if you sleep at the church. I don't care what kind of prophecy, deliverance ministry you go through. Every relationship comes with its own set of warfare. Every relationship. You just have to decide if it's worth it to you. And don't think that just because God sent somebody to you or that you prayed into a relationship that there's not going to be some trouble. I said, God handmade Eve out of Adam for Adam, and she still led him down a dark alley with no lights on.
Oh God.
You get what I'm saying? And so you have to understand the reality of what relationship looks like. And it is gritty, and it is dirty, and it is grimy, and it is hard, but it is also the most beautiful thing that you will ever experience if you allow each other the opportunity to attempt to do it right and to do it well.
I'm not even supposed to like you this much, Tammy. Like, you know, I mean, for real.
That's
like,
my pastor.
That's
my pastor.
Like, hallelujah.
She my pastor.
Oh my God. Like, wait a minute. Y'all know I'm never at a loss of words, but I just wish you got, perfectly you can feel it on, you know, on this side of the camera. Do me a favor, subscribe and do all that stuff. Make sure you leave a comment if you feel in this conversation. It means a lot to me. I read every comment. So make sure that you do it. I was online and I got an opportunity to just kind of see you guys banter or whatever. And then I seen you kind of switch up your clothes or whatever. You know, you had on the suit and all that. I wasn't used to you, you know, suiting it all day.
Yeah.
Tell me what you prefer, suit? Or you prefer him just in this, you know what I'm saying, this, you know, just Detroit, you know what I'm saying, doing this thing.
I think I prefer the suits. I think I prefer the suits because he's a different dude when he puts the suits on.
I'm ready to say something.
You know,
when I put my suit on. I feel like before I
You
even
talk
start
with your
pastoring,
hands.
I'll put a suit on. I'll be at home.
He's in the mirror
I
like.
just need you to know that. Why didn't we? Somebody suit to make you want to just say something.
And he just moved his mannequin out of the house because there was a whole mannequin.
He moved his church and somebody broke it.
He's at the church now?
Yeah.
There was a whole mannequin that he would dress at night so he could see what he was going to. He would be like, whew, that boy.
so serious
He'd be
about
that boy sharp.
That boy clean. That boy
He
clean.
dressed that mannequin stayed dressed. Listen, he was all prepped. So he's serious about his clothes.
Yeah. My suit.
I do have to ask you this. So you guys do ministry together, you're at home together, you raise kids together, that's y'all business together, and you just do all this stuff together. Like, do you ever feel like, man, I just need a break, or how hard or easy it takes?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we do, but we
What
don't
do you
need
do for
long
the
breaks.
I can ride in my Jeep. I get the doors off, won't turn the radio on, and just ride. I'm like, and she'll ask me this. She say, "Hey, do you need to go by yourself?" I say, "Yeah, I could do this one by myself. Let me ride." So sometimes
Why
I
don't
just
you
go.
take offense to that?
Because it rarely happens. Like if one of us sees the other person getting dressed, we're not asking questions. We're just like, oh, we bouncing. All right, let's get like because we do everything together.
And I can literally say, "No, I'm gonna do this by myself."
And I'm like, okay, cool.
She's like, "Okay."
Because I know he would rather be with me than anywhere in the world. So if he's needing some time by himself, I respect it.
Or she can roll. This gonna sound so offensive to some of the women who don't like this, but it's just the truth. I feel like if she's my best friend, right?
Yeah.
I should be able to tell you tell your best friend the truth, right?
Yeah.
So I tell her, you can ride,
You gotta be cool.
but I'm not having no intellectual conversation. Don't ask me what's going on in the world today. I really want to, actually, no radio. I just want to ride.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So I'm gonna let the sunroof back, or we're gonna ride in the Jeep. It's hot. The air ain't coming on because it's a 98.
Yeah.
So you want to ride? You can ride, but shh.
Yeah.
And then she'll decide if she want to go or not.
And for me, it's just bath time. I'm a professional bath taker. So bath bombs, candles, music, the whole thing. Leave me alone. I'm good. So I only need about an hour or two, and then we're back. Because we always giggling or laughing or gossiping with each
We
other.
know how to argue. We like professional arguers.
Yes.
No,
it's
anybody around us know we argue. Anybody who knows us,
So
tell
give
them
me an
the truth.
example of what, like, okay, I'm gonna give you a scenario. You cleaned up or somebody cleaned up, you come in and everything toe up out from the floor up. Who's the cleanest person? Who's one of the cleanest?
You probably are.
All right, cool.
And then I come in arguing about it.
Yeah.
And then they'll say because my family's loud.
Yeah.
I'm a loud person. They're like, why does everything got to be?
So you loud too.
Oh my God.
So when you said this, no, it's not this.
It's this.
It's this.
Got it.
Everything's on 10.
Got it.
But my heart is on 10.
Right.
Anybody who know my heart, and don't ask anybody who with us about. But my heart is on 10 at all times, right?
Right.
But my thing is, they know my love language is I'm going to always do what I need to do, but least do what y'all can do.
But
around
then when
here.
I match it, it's like, watch your tone. I'm like, you didn't watch your tone. Like,
you know how to match it now. And then
I know she can match. I
Yeah.
feel it right here. in
I
my
had to
soul.
learn. I wouldn't have survived in the Haddon family.
maybe about 30 minutes later, we won't talk
back.
for about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I go in there and be like, you hungry?
Yeah, no, really.
Because your head's too big to be out here by yourself.
We never not talk. We're not that couple that I'm gonna walk around you
Or
for
days without
hours and
talking.
days, and
No.
we like it's not like. And if we go past 2 hours, he'll be like, "So you ready to act right? Because we're not about to do this."
Come
so
on.
we're just real real intentional about our relationship. But we fight on a regular basis. That's
Absolutely.
what we do
Yeah.
On a
Good at
regular
it.
basis.
on a
Yeah, I'm
regular.
That's what keeps us healthy.
So listen, I'm gonna just fire off a few questions. I'm gonna count to 3. You guys are gonna
Jesus
have to answer. Okay?
My
Yeah,
brain don't move that fast.
it's all good. I'm gonna count to 4 then. There you go. Come on. I'm gonna count to 4. 1, 2, 3. Y'all musicians. 1, 2, 3.
Oh God, I'm
Boom.
scared.
All right, cool. So, all right, you can't lie. You gonna go first, and you gonna have to tell me if he said correct.
Uh-oh.
Tammy's favorite color.
Black.
Yes,
Gerald's favorite food.
chicken wings, flats, small.
Wrong.
Oop. And I was so
I
descriptive.
don't, she said flats. I like all drumsticks. Don't give me no flats.
My bad.
That's the whole world. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
All right.
Her favorite seafood.
Yes.
You know you like a book, ain't it?
Yeah.
Tammy's favorite place to vacation.
L.A., Detroit are the two because they're home.
True.
Dang it. I don't want to like you this much, girl. I don't want
I've
to.
been with her a long time. That's all. That's all that is.
Jesus.
I'll make it easy for you, Tammy, because I love you too. Is Gerald a shoe guy or a clothes guy?
God, it is equal. I'm sorry. It's equal.
Equal opportunity,
It's
Lynn?
I was
equal.
waiting on you to say. I thought she was gonna say both. Because I was gonna say it's
That's-
both.
no.
So she is. She got it.
No, she right.
Good.
Yeah, right.
Equal.
Yeah,
Good.
it's both.
Yeah.
Last thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm out your way. You all have how many children?
3.
3 children. Who's your favorite kid?
Right now, I have no favorites.
Our kids probably think we're crazy. Our oldest son is gay.
Yes.
Our middle
In
son
real life?
in real life.
How old is he?
32?
He'll be 32 this
So-
week.
Yeah. And we tell our members in new members class, we're like, we have a gay son. Absolutely love him. You may see him.
He don't come to church until karaoke.
Oh, he'll come do karaoke.
So he'll be next month. He'll be at karaoke next month.
And then-
He gonna be at karaoke.
we tell, and we're like, and if we believe the Bible, we teach the Bible, but baby, we're gonna love our son. And if you think you can't handle that as pastors, we might not be the church
Listen.
for you.
So
gonna
wait a
love
minute,
him
32. So when did you all find out that
He was gay?
When
No, I
did
just
he
want to
tell
say,
us?
like, do y'all do pronouns or something? I just want to make sure I say
No.
the correct
It's,
pronoun. So when did you find out he was?
I'm
he
still
told,
learning
he
with
told
that.
me he was gay
I'm
when
trying
he
to
was 15. 15.
Yeah.
But we knew.
Oh, I knew already. I knew when he was 7.
What?
Because you're about 10, 17. The girls would be calling.
You didn't know at 7.
I'm telling you, something went right. I said something ain't right. Because me and, okay, maybe about 7, about 10, 11.
Really said, I thought I was about to end this and y'all gonna bring us
Now I got to explain this.
About 10, 11, really,
Okay.
I knew he was gay. Because me and Dietrich used to fight on the phone. By 10, 11, we had girls calling. Like, we'd be like, get off the phone. Him, he was the only child. So he lived with my mother-in-law because we weren't married yet.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Austin, I just say, Austin, any girls calling? No. And he just watched TV all the time. I said, something ain't right. And then one day, I saw him do something that I deemed as gay. And I said, oh, okay, we had just got married too. I said, he got to come live with us. He got to come. Like, he need me.
because you made it all your problem.
Yeah, I made it all my problem. Even when he told us, I made it my problem. I was like, it's my
Yeah, I
fault.
can see that.
I said, it's my fault. And then me and Uncle LaShawn, I called LaShawn. He was the first person I called. I said, LaShawn.
I can't wait to hear what he said.
I said, oh no, I can't say what he said on the phone. I said, Sean, man, Austin just finally told, because I used to always tell him, I said, man, I think Austin is gay, man. He said, no, not nephew, man. No, he can't. I said, yeah, I think he gay, man. Then I called him and said, he finally told us. He told his mama. He thought I was going to come in there and beat him up and put him out. So I went in there and told him, I busted in his room, boom, because I'm very dramatic. Boom. I said, you think I will put you out of the house because you're gay? I said, man, I love you. You're my seed. But I said, but I am heartbroken. I said, because
there's a grieving
and
process.
I asked a set of questions. Was it any family member? Do you feel like you was born this way? And his answer was, he said, no family member done nothing. I said, I don't care if it's your granddaddy or grandma, anybody. Tell me who it was. He said, no. He said, I was in school. A boy pushed me up against the locker and kissed me, and I liked it. And I immediately said, oh. I said, okay. I called Shine. I said, Shine, he just told me.
Oh, Lord.
We're 100%. We ain't got to be, we was at 70. We had 100%. It's true. He said, Gerald, has he done anything? I said, what you mean? He said, has he had sex with a boy? I said, hold on, let me go check.
Oh, no.
I said, Austin, have you had, relationship with anybody? He said, no. I said, so I went back to Shine. No, he said, no. He said, he's fine. He said, we're going to drive him to Vegas. Take him to a brothel. Put some breasts in his face. He'd be just fine. Imagine a little more dramatic than that. I said, when can we go? He said, we need to leave Friday. So we can be back for church Sunday. He said, but,
and then his brothers teased him.
His brothers teased him.
He had a breakup during COVID, and he got really sad about it. And our middle son, Gerald, who acts just like him.
I think
crazy.
I see him online sometimes.
He's the crazy.
Out of
He
control.
said, Austin, he said, these boys gonna take you down. He said, don't you let these boys take you
Don't let these boys have you in the chokehold, man.
So you got Austin, he's gay. Little Gerald is probably the 304.
Yeah, he definitely.
He's trying to be reformed
Let me
304.
tell you, he's a player.
Yeah, and then the baby boy has watched us harass the other two and make fun of the other two. Yeah. So I don't know. He could be married with a whole family. I have no idea. He's so private.
How old is he?
20.
Oh, yeah.
But what's crazy is we asked him recently, I said, are you gay? He said, no. No, he said, I'm not Austin. He said, I'm not Austin. Because he's so private. I'm talking about, private to the point that we don't know nothing about, like, I just don't know.
And I just can't figure out how we moved to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I have yet to see this child.
With a black person. Yeah. And we're in Atlanta.
No black friends, no black girls.
Hey, man, one of my children is, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I love you, Kay. You know what I'm saying? Kay, I love you.
Oh, my God.
Ole Miss. I went to Ole Miss, but, I had a different group of people. Hey, it's what it is.
But how you find everybody but black people in Atlanta? We're in Atlanta.
In Khalil's defense, was like he got black and white.
Yeah.
But, he just kind of grew up that way. And,
And that's how Blair was in L.A.
He grew in the school. I think it was, maybe 7%.
Oh, wow. Got you. Yep.
5%.
And we're in North Georgia, so.
Yeah, so
we out there.
Just kind of, But here's the thing. Last thing, you brought up, you talked about the baby. Is it Justin?
Justin.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there are so many ladies out there who have been through so much, and ladies don't often speak about that so confidently. And so I didn't want to miss the opportunity to put this thing on the board. It's just been plaguing me for me to just say thank you guys for deeming this a safe space and sharing that part, because that is going to be extremely cathartic for people who may have never opened up their mouth to say this happened to me. My mom, they thought I died.
Wow.
Because she was just pregnant, and then
she wasn't.
Then she wasn't again.
Yeah.
And just in black families, it was just like, well, let's just keep going.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I felt it would be okay for me to just tell you that it wasn't malicious of what they was trying to hide or do whatever. It's just sometimes when it comes to families who have a certain level of, I didn't know my family had so much prestige. I just met them in 2020.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jesse Hill's my uncle. You go down 75, 85.
Really?
You gonna see Jesse Hill.
Yeah.
They were the forefathers of Atlanta, and I got uncles who were CEOs and all of that stuff. That was something that was just like, well, we just gonna keep the party going.
Yeah,
Right.
Let's just move on. Wow. And then I come back years and years later, and I don't think I even apologized to my mother that, the moment that I met them, I was only thinking about myself, and I came out with a full documentary.
Wow.
Not even knowing, all of this. And she was gracious, and I love her. My mom and mom are really great people. But just to know that somebody like you and you would be so sincere and share that, man, I just honor you guys for doing that, and thank you so much for deeming this a safe space.
Thank you. And thank you for this is
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. We appreciate
I've been waiting
you
to get to Willie
considering
Mo.
us.
Yeah, man, listen.
I'm watching everybody else on the show. And I just said to you, then I said, Willie done had everybody on that show but us. I'm going down there with a shotgun. Tell them, we better be on the show.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was praying. So I prayed like every single time. I'm like, God, who you think this time, God? Who you think this time? Because I use this as therapy. Like I'm really learning. So I go to therapy every other Thursday. I go to Celebrate
I
Recovery
need to go with you.
every
Can I go with
Thursday.
you?
What,
I
a
need to go
therapy?
with you. Yeah, because I use my church as a therapy. When I'm preaching, I'm like, maybe I need a couch to talk to y'all.
Man, I recommend it for everybody because it just
absolutely.
really, really helped me out.
Yeah.
And then I said, you know what? When I was going through what I was going through, I didn't have the tools. I didn't have people who were so transparent, especially in the kingdom community.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, man, let me set up an opportunity to teach people how to overcome, love themselves more so they can have a better shot at winning in life.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we came up with this. I'm usually just sitting there like, and then what happened? And people like, it's so good. I'm like, I said 16 words. That's all I said. You're so great. I was like, that's just Jesus, because I didn't say nothing. They said everything.
Yeah.
But I've learned so much today.
Yeah.
And I thank you guys so much. I'm going to focus my attention here. So listen, guys. You know, you never know what's behind a smile. You never know what's behind a joke. You never know what happens behind the scenes of people who make you so happy and proud and hashtag goals or whatever you may put on social media. And what I found out today is that a lot of times the smiles come after many frowns and tears and things that have happened in our lives. So maybe right now you're not smiling. Maybe you have issues and you feel like, man, nobody really understands what I'm going through, because the truth is the enemy's biggest trick is to make you think that you're the only one that's going through it. And you don't realize that there are so many people who have not only gone through it, but there are so many people who have actually overcome. And so today my prayer is that you got a chance to experience two people who have overcome so much and still are overcoming a whole lot. And they were able to put a smile on their face. You know, it's an old thing that my daddy used to say. Of course, he's 92. He said, look here, son. And you know, my daddy, little guy, still cuss a little bit. He like to sit his leg up like this right here. Man, look here, son. Let me tell you something. It's important that you always stay flexible so your ass don't get bent out of shape. And I didn't really get that. He said, yeah, man, stay flexible so you don't get bent out of shape. I said, what? He said, don't never view your situation so serious to know that you got to know God going to bring you through it. On the other side of this, there's a smile. Good. And so in the words of my father and just understanding that, I got a chance to see people who have been through stuff that if they did not have Jesus, it would probably still be a frown on their face. So here goes the question. Who is Jesus to you? Do you trust him as your Savior, but not your comforter? Do you trust him as your Savior, but not your everything? There's a level of commitment that God is attempting to get to you so you can connect to him in a more intimate way. And you think that this pain and this trial is just to destroy you. This is my demise. But God is saying, listen, I'm not pointing at you this way. I'm pointing at you this way, saying, come to me. There's a void that only God can fill. And once he feels it, he gives you wisdom on how to take step by step in what you need to do. I'm not saying you're not going to need therapy. I'm not saying you not going to have a health group and workouts and all that other stuff. I'm just saying that none of that stuff is going to be fulfilling unless you put him in his rightful place. So my challenge to you today is for you to do a heart check. How is your heart postured? Is it saying, God, I got this and I'm going to handle it? Well, you've been doing that for a long time, baby, and your edge is starting to get thin because you've been trying to do it on your own. But God is saying, listen, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad about you. And I want an intimate relationship with you. And I'm using this pain, I'm using this trial for you to draw closer to me. And I believe that, listen, even with that lick in your hand, with that Black and Mild in your hand, or whatever you was doing last night, or what you doing now while you driving in the car, you probably on the way doing a little something. I know who I attract. God still loves you still. And he's willing to be in his rightful place. But it's up to you to open up the door to put him there. All right? I love you. Make sure you love yourself more. Subscribe to this channel. Flat out.
Love you more, love you more, love you more.